Hello and welcome back to the Rec League. We are here with our next matchup, Team Red Brambleback versus Team Gromp. I'm your host, Darth Ted, and joining me is going to be Endo. Yeah, I'm very excited to see this matchup, and since the players are waiting, we're just going to get into the game. Yeah, so what do you think of this matchup? Um, Sorry, some small technical difficulties. Apparently, Endo isn't being heard right now, so we'll work to fix that right off the bat. All right, so I'm just gonna talk through this while it's going on. We have a Pike band coming out against Colonel Paco. We see him playing that a lot last week. Both games doing very well on it. And an Udyr band coming out against Chimichangas, a very scary champion. And then a Swain band coming out against Adoma. He's been putting in so many hours on that champ and played him pretty much from gold 1 to I think plat 2. And then Aurelia band coming out. I have to assume this is against Big Fucking Rob. I don't know if Astro has any games on her, but a very strong champion. And then Ash band coming out against Arrow. It's one of his very strong comfort picks, and he really likes to stay back and just provide that CC, so it's a pretty good ban. And the Katarina ban against Astro. And we're just having a lot of technical difficulties today. And our first pick is going to be Jin coming out for Ace Clapius. A super safe ADC pick. Yeah, it does a lot of damage early game and late game, but can slump mid game into dealing with tanks, which we know Team Brambleback really likes to pick up. And we see an Urgot for Adolma and a Maokai for Enraged Ovary. Two strong comfort picks. Adolma really showing a lot of bullying in his laning phase. So we'll have to see what Big fucking Rob can do to come back against that. And then we see a Trundle pick coming out for Chimichangas. Really strong, counters a lot of tank champions with that ultimate. So smart matchup into the Maokai. It really has a lot of bully potential too. And then hovering the Ari. And we have Astro going in on the Ari. Is a champion we saw her play last week, and she did very well on it. Unfortunately, they didn't come up with a win, but super strong pick, and she got a lot of 1v1 kills against the brand mid. And then a Zillion for Pickle Popper. He really likes to play this champion. So we're getting a lot of comfort picks today, and it feels pretty safe into the Ari just because once he hits level 6, the Ari has really no kill pressure on him, just because the ultimate will bring him back to life. And we know Enraged Ovary very much likes to hover around that mid lane just to give Pickle Popper the resources he needs to stay safe. And we have a Malphite ban coming out against Big Freaking Rob. We saw him play that last week, going a hybrid build, kind of. A little bit of AP, a little bit of tank, doing a lot of damage. And a Morgana ban coming out against Colonel Paco. Really, really focusing that support ban list. I'm expecting like a Misfortune ban. Oh, no, never mind. Aatrox ban coming out against Rob. He played that last week as well and didn't really have too much success on it, but it's very strong pickup right now. Aatrox has a lot of poke in lane and might be one of the safer picks against Urgot. And Tristana ban coming out against Arrow. I was kind of expecting a Thresh just to take Paco off of a comfort pick, but Tristana is another very safe ADC, so Arrow is not going to have many more options to pick from. And a Poppy pick coming out. Paco played top lane last season and was a huge fan of the Poppy. Really love that. And I mean, Poppy, we've seen her jungle and top lane, but not much support. But she's going to be able to provide a lot of CC just from her charge and her ultimate. And then the last two picks on Team Gromp side are the Cho'Gath and the Nami. Very, I mean, Cho'Gath is a very strong pick right now, and Nami is a huge bully in the bot lane. So Jin Nami should be able to push in the Sivir and Poppy fairly easily early on and have a lot of advantages there. And then the last pickup obviously was the Sivir, and that's another really safe pick just because the spell shield will be able to block any one spell. So overall, I really enjoy these two team comps. There's a lot of tankiness coming out of Team Gromp side. All right, both sides really. The Trundle's going to get pretty big when he ults the Maokai or the Urgot. The Cho'Gath's obviously going to be really big. I'm just very scared for this Cho'Gath Urgot matchup just because I know how much of a bully Eldolma is, and so Rob's really going to have to play well in order to survive this lane. But I think the matchup to watch is actually mid lane. The Zilean and Ahri matchup is going to be very interesting. If Zilean can dodge around Ahri's charm with his W, he should be all set. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure out why Endo's audio is not coming through. But he's the Zilean should be very safe, and if he can land double bombs early on, it's a very nice gank setup for the Maokai. But we do see Ahri bringing out the cleanse, so she can play it very safely as well. I'm just very curious where Enraged Ovary is going to be trying to force his ganks. I mean, he's got a losing bot lane, a winning top lane, and the mid lane push should probably go to the Zilean. So we'll have to see where that goes. And why is this audio not working? All right. Sorry, guys. We got another minute before we get into the game. I think I'm just going to be spending that time trying to get Endo back. Apologize. All right. So he should be good to talk when we get back into games. So we'll try it then. All right. Team comps right now. We have huge tanky front lines for both teams. The thing in the late game that really differentiate these teams is the Sivir versus the Jhin. Jhin has a lot of upfront damage, and when he get 4 shots off, he'll do a lot. But Sivir ricochets just hit everybody on the opposing team. So in a 5v5 team fight, Brambleback look very, very strong, pushing that 40-minute mark. Early on, the lanes seem pretty even. Bot lane goes one way, top lane goes one way, mid lane is fairly even. So the jungle matchup is really where the game shifts early on. And Trundle has, a very fast clear, but it doesn't beat Maokai's at all with the Saplings. Unfortunately for Enraged Overy, Trundle does win that 1v1 early on. So he's going to have to play a little bit more defensive when going around those scuttle crabs. We're almost getting into game right now. And we see some interesting choices of runes coming out. The Jhin going for... you normally see a Fleetwood footwork on Jhin, but he decides to go for... Oh crap, what is that? Hail of Blades instead. And then... Yeah, it's very interesting. I've never actually seen that build on Jhin before. Everything seems very standard for the rest of the teams, though. All right. And we're about to get into game 2. All right, game 1 between Bramble and Gromp. Endo, can you hear me? Can anyone else hear Endo? We see some a lot of ping coming out early on. Doesn't look like anyone can hear Endo. Feels bad, man. And defensive starts coming out. Sorry, Endo. All right, well, doesn't look like we're going to get Endo onto this cast. I apologize for that, guys. Unfortunately, a lot of technical issues going on. But anyways, so we have some standard starts coming out. Maokai's going actually red buff on top side to avoid this Trundle clear, facing the Trundle early on. And Trundle seems to be just starting bot, going for normal stuff. Enraged Overy taking a little bit of damage from this Brambleback, but he will heal it up after he gets the red buff. And now we don't know if Gromp actually saw that Enraged Overy was starting topside. So Enraged Overy could have advantage going into his blue buff and trying for an early gank bottom lane. But it does seem like his bot lane is shoving up a little bit. Good trading going on. Stardust just keeping the Jhin sustained with her W. Now we see a Charm coming out in the mid lane, just missing Pickle Popper. sidestepping that very nicely. And we see a Trundle clearing out his blue buff. He went for a very standard clear, red buff, wolves, blue buff. Gonna get 3 off this, and probably going for the topside scuttle. But unfortunately, not much to be found in the top lane. His lane seems to be shoved in pretty hard. Big fucking Rob going evenly with CS against Adolma. Yeah, I can hear you through Discord. I can't get it to OBS. So more trading coming out down the bot lane. Even CS coming out across the map. Maokai seems to be pushing up for this bot side scuttle crab. Takes it, is level 3. Doesn't really see anything bot lane. And we have one gank coming up in the top lane. Chimichanga's coming up, hitting the pillar onto Adolma. Adolma gets a flip off. Nothing else coming off of it. A little bit of damage coming down, but Adolma seems very healthy. Another gank coming out in the top lane. Just repeat ganks coming out for Chimichangas. Adolma playing very safely. Is pretty far back in his turret, so nothing comes off of it. And we miss first blood down the bot lane. Colonel Paco going in a little bit too strong. Yeah, so that's a really good kill going over onto the Jhin. Getting this Jhin ahead is going to really, really escalate the game for Team Gromp. So good amount of trading coming out. Mid lane CS is going pretty evenly. Ahri went back pretty early on, was able to pick up that Dark Seal. And Pickle Papa ended up going back as well. Only got the Sapphire Crystal out of it, so a little bit of extra mana for him. A lot of pressure being put down by Adolma in the top lane. Big fucking Rob getting pushed into his turret. He's down about 10 CS, but should be able to pick these ones up. A lot of pings come down the bot lane. Trundle seems to be coming in for a gank. Arrowfox caught out. Spell shields the Jhin W. Flash coming in for Trundle. Gets the pillar out. Bubble comes down onto Colonel Paco. Flash is out in the end. A good amount of damage traded back onto Stardust and Trundle. But in the end, it was Flash blown for Colonel Paco versus Chimichanga. So probably a win for the Trundle. We'll have to see if Enraged Over he can try to abuse the fact that the Trundle doesn't have Flash anymore. Speaking of Enraged Over, taking the Scuttle Crab in the river, getting a lot of vision for his top laner. He knows the Dolman's going to be shoved up the entire game, so he really just wants to not let Chimichangas have any pressure up here. And Big fucking Rob does hit 6. Adolma is going in on him. Enraged Over, he's here with the Predator. Gets the root off, but Big fucking Rob flashes under turret. So good gank. Predator for flash. Definitely worth for Enraged Over. And we see a little bit of that pressure coming out from the early ganks. Adolma not able to hit 6 in time. That might be a dead Cho'Gath if he was able to get there. We have backs coming out in the bot lane. Jhin ends up getting a BF sword. Really good first buy on a back. And then Arrowfox and Colonel Paco just end up shoving that wave into the turret in order to secure their backs. This Sivir should be able to pick up a BF sword off this, so bot lane should be pretty even in terms of damage. We see both junglers rotating back towards their respective buffs that they started on. And Trundle might be looking for an early dragon here. Nope, he's going for the invite. Nope, never mind. He turned around. Going straight for the dragon. Pings come down on it. Colonel Paco might want to watch where he steps because he doesn't have any support from his mid laner or his bot lane right now. But he drops the pink ward, which is just going to get cleared away. Pickle Popper is coming down with Aerofox, though, and they end up pushing him away. And while all that's happening, Enraged Over, he comes back for a gank onto Big Fucking Rob, and they end up taking him down. They blew his flash, so it was a good repeat gank. But with Paco and Aerofox stepping out of the lane, the Jin and Nami were able to shove up the wave pretty hard. And Sivir's going to lose a couple of CS to this turret. We have a lot of good invading coming in from Enraged Over, getting some deep vision down to watch where the Trundle's going. Cho'Gath smelled him out, though, went to see if he was trying to take the blue buff. Alright, looks like we have a fix for the voice. We're going to have to bring down the stream for a little bit. Alright, not going to be right now, going to be in a little bit. Alright, and we see a lot more fighting for vision coming around. A pink ward getting destroyed up on the top side Brambleback for Team Brambleback. And Pickle Popper just receiving his blue buff from Enraged Over. This bot lane is receiving a lot of pressure, though. The Jin and Nami pushing in very hard. They have the Trundle in the jungle supporting them, though. Enemy junglers do know where each other are, and it looks like everybody's just going to back off. Ooh, good amount of poke coming down onto Colonel Paco. He's about half health right now from that Jin Nami combo. And so everything's kind of happening just as expected. Cho'Gath's getting pushed in, down 21 CS, 31 CS right now. Huge discrepancy in the top lane. Bot lane is doing fine in CSing, but they are losing a little bit of damage on the tower. And mid lane is going very, very evenly. So Brambleback's team comp really is kind of winning this early game just because nothing is really happening. We see Trundle trying to pick up this dragon again. Last time he started it, he was stopped by Colonel Paco coming in. And his bot lane doesn't have priority right now. We see Zillion coming over. Chimichangas is super low. Zillion flashes, misses the double bomb, though. Good flash out from Chimichangas. Ultimate coming in for 8th Aerofox, but a good Nami tidal wave to deflect it. Colonel Paco flashing in, goes in, gets the charge. Zillion ult is down on him. Double bombs on Aerofox, and he ends up going down. Colonel Paco in a bad spot. Pickle Papa ended up dying to the Ahri. And we'll have to see if she can pick up this kill onto Arrow. And she ends up doing that. So overall, really good fight for Team Gromp. It was 3 for 1 in favor of them. And 2 of the kills going down onto Astro. This Ahri pick is going to be really, really hard for them to deal with if she gets stronger. All right.
Sorry for that delay, guys. Finally getting back in. Hopefully you guys can hear me on the stream. Darth Ted, props to you for holding that down the entire time.
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. Wait, stream, can you hear Endo? Alright, awesome. So, oh, we come back and Astro's getting caught out. Good double bomb coming down from Pickle Popper to get her stunned up and clean up that kill. Looks like Enraged Over, he's going for this invade on the red buff, but he is spotted out.
He's going to have to blow a lot to try and get out of there.
3v3 fight, though. Colonel Paco going in, getting the stun down. Jin living barely a sliver of life left.
Yeah, and after that fight, it looks like Enraged Ovary then is going to back off the red. So there's just a lot of posturing there, and they both sides decides to back out, and Chimichanga just asks, "Is it okay if I go back in, guys? I really want this red," which he does. So with the game going so far, it's been a lot of back and forth. Looks like Brambleback is got a little bit of a lead, but who do you think the late game favors?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before, and I was talking to myself before, and I think late game definitely favors the Protect the Sivir comp. That
Sure.
huge front line of the Maokai Poppy is going to be so good for just sit behind and throw out those bouncing boomerang blades.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So it's kind of weird how it's set up right now because Trundle is great against tanks, but Jin is not. So it's really going to come down to Ari just misses it in there. So there's not that much synergy between the ADC and the jungler. If you're Jin, who are you going to target in fights?
I mean, the Jin really has to target whoever the Trundle ults, which is probably the first person that's in front of the Jin.
Sure, sure.
Once the Trundle starts ulting either the Maokai or the Urgot, they're going to lose a lot of armor and resistances. So hopefully you'll be at the point where you can do enough damage just to take him out immediately.
Yeah, and it looks like Enraged Ovary was actually looking to go for a gank there and popped his Predator. Put it down and cooldown with nothing to come out of that, unfortunately. We have to talk about top lane a little bit here. There's a little battle going on.
Yeah, the CS lead has just been growing steadily for Adoma. I think a couple minutes ago it was 30 CS, and now it's up to 50.
Yeah, his Urgot is just oppressive, and the champion is in a good place right now. But on any champion, Adoma's known for pushing that CS lead and wearing down that tower.
Yeah, I honestly just really love the synergy between Enraged Ovary and Adoma. I mean, Enraged Ovary's been keeping so much vision control on this top side just to make sure that the Trundle's not coming back.
Yeah, and that's what's really frustrating about it going against Adoma. He can be pushed up the entire time in lane, but he's so smart about it, it's hard for the enemy jungler to take advantage. He knows when their jungler isn't known or there's no vision on his side, he's got to back by something played smart. But whenever he does have vision, he's pushing and pressuring enemy top laner.
Big fight coming down in the bot lane. A lot of damage coming down onto Arrow. Gank comes from Chimichangas, but unfortunately couldn't clean up that kill. Adoma is teleporting in though. Ends up flashing onto this Nami. Gets bubbled up, snared up at the Jin root. Paco is here. The ult comes out from Adoma. Gets the kill onto the Nami. Colonel Paco's super low. Ult coming out from Jin. Let's see if he can actually hit any of these shots. Huge tank line is blocking it though. Enraged Ovary steps up and says, "You do no damage to me."
That is a lot of big bodies to get in front of Jin's sniper shots there. They did the right thing with protecting Paco because one hit, he would have gone down. Nice teleport by Adoma, but it gives Big Rob just a little bit of a chance to end up in CS. Let's see if he's able to take advantage.
Yeah, also, Big Rob, he did this last week too. He teleported to his top lane while the top laner was teleporting bot lane. So he's trying to even out the CS, but you think they might have been able to clean up that fight a little bit if he went bot lane.
Yeah, generally you don't want to TP for CS, especially 16 minutes into the game. It's turns more into an offensive tool or even defensive tool because he could have matched Adoma's TP, but that's why it's important also to always call out when you see an enemy TPing, because then you know you have about 4 minutes, 5 minutes of safety before it's a party in bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Trundle's really been focusing this bot lane for most of this game, just because Big fucking Rob probably said, "I can't handle this. Like, get somebody else fed."
Sure, and it takes a big man to be able to admit that. And the good thing though about Cho'Gath is he doesn't need to get ahead right now. He's definitely a scaling champion. So if he's just able to survive against the Urgot, meanwhile on top lane.
Yeah, nothing coming down off of that gank though. or got sniffed him out, had a pink ward down so he could see that the Trundle was coming, and really just walked out safely.
For sure. Now I see the Trundle has.
Huge fight coming out. Colonel Pocket getting a stun onto the Jin, but luckily he was able to flash out of it.
And this is Paco's Poppy that we always hear so much about. He knows exactly how far the dash range is to pin you up against the wall. The Jin was out of position for just half a second, and then he was stunned. It looks like there's going to be a push onto the Inferno after taking him down so low.
Yeah, ult coming out from Enraged Ovary, looking to zone out Astro. This Infernal is down to about 1,000 health. The Smite comes out from Enraged Ovary, secures it. That's a huge pickup for them.
Yeah, I wonder if there was just Adoma's in mid lane, though. He might be in a little bit of trouble. We'll see if he can escape.
I mean, he already has an item finished. He's super tanky. Ahri does come out, though. Ults and gets the charm off. Zillion ult onto Adoma will let him walk away with his life.
That's what's so annoying about this team comp. Not only do you have these mega tanks, you also have a Zillion to make sure they take even longer to die.
You might not have Zillion much longer. He was able to just walk out.
So close. Yeah. If Rob had his ult, that would have been a chomped up Zillion. He may want to back now in base. That is getting dangerous. I know they want to protect the mid tower, but one more charm from Astro, who is currently full health, Pickle Popper could be in trouble.
Yeah. And with all that pressure mid lane, the Gromp's bot lane actually rotated up, but then gave push priority over to Aerofox and Colonel Paco, who just took the turret pretty much for free.
Yeah, that was really nice movement by them on that side. Chimichangas was able to secure the scuttle, and the Rift Herald decides he wants the blue buff. There he goes, yeah. Nice little reset. This Rift Herald is such an important objective. It guarantees you a turret, or at anything else, pressure on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, and if you have Rift Herald... Oh, never mind. It just died. Baron's coming in. Had to get it away.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Is a little too late to go for that. It looks like they're going to try and make a play for this mid turret now.
I mean, it is super low. A couple of shots from the Jin should take this down.
Yeah. That's what's nice that ADC. He doesn't have to sit there and get his attack speed up. You can auto walk back, and you're doing just as much damage as a Jinx sitting in place. Or maybe not just as much. But...
And all that pressure coming out from D1 Kato ends up doing so much damage to that turret early on. So the team was able to just group up and take that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's interesting about these setups is the Ahri is starting to get some gold on her. So when you itemize, you are going to have to get the armor and the magic resist. Now, I know technically Brambleback has magic damage on the Maokai and the Zillion, but it's not that one-shot capabilities like we have on the Ahri.
Yeah, but if somebody gets double bombed by the... Oh, good cleanse coming out from Astro. Got double bombed up in the mid. Was able to make it out with their life, though. Another good double bomb coming down onto Stardust. And Enraged Over, he flashes under tower to get it. Woo! He has the Zillion ult onto him, though, so he's able to get out of there. Will take turret aggro. Just one shot, and he's already full of health.
That's what we were talking about earlier. So Enraged Over is able to dive in with the Maokai because not only is he such a big boy.
We have Adoma coming in from the back. Are they going to go for this dive? He goes straight onto the Jin. Jin barely getting away. Dodges the ultimate, but unfortunately Colonel Baco was there to clean up the kill. And nice. The turret ends up going down with all that pressure.
This is a dive comp from Brambleback. They have the HP. They have the Zillion ults. They can just, you know, you don't get exactly what you want the first time. You go in again and again and again.
Yeah, plus the Zillion speed up onto Maokai is such a dangerous and terrifying thing. I mean, could you imagine just seeing a giant hulking tree running straight at you?
Have that little wolf icon over your head, and he is running with a bomb on his branches right into your face. That is a scary, scary thing.
Yeah, and they end up picking up a 3K gold lead off of that push.
Yeah, Brambleback is starting. I mean, the game was going back and forth, but at the 20-minute mark, we're starting to see a little bit of a lead coming from Brambleback. We're going to have to see what the answer for this will be.
I mean, the next Drake comes up in a minute 30, so I'm assuming that's where the next fight is going to happen.
For sure, for sure. And that now a giant tree with a bomb sped up by Zillion has Predator and an Air Drake. He's going to be able to catch whoever he wants. The only
Speaking
issue
of
is
catching people out, he's popping the Predator to go after the Strundle. And just pop the Predator for free.
There we go. Adoma's walking in as well, though.
Yeah, it's a 2v2 in the top lane, but soon to be a 2v4. Enraged Ovary and Chronopog collapsing from the top. Chronopog hits the short range ult. Chimichangas gets ulted by Enraged Adolma and ends up going down to that Urgot. 3-0-1 on this pick.
A great ult as well by Enraged Ovary. Just rooted him long enough for Adoma to be able to line up that ultimate. That is actually a tough ultimate to land. I won't lie. Whenever I play Maokai, it tends not to go where I need it to go.
Yeah, and they end up securing the top lane turret. But meanwhile, bot lane, Jin and the Nami were able to shove up, take the bot lane turret, and now are rotating onto this dragon. I don't think they're going to be able to start it, but they are clearing out the vision.
Yep, that's pretty much all they can do right now. Chimichangas is still going to be down, or is just coming up now, so they wouldn't want to get into that fight, especially with a Pickle Popper with his Zillion. Oh, he's meeting Ari in the mid lane.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, Sivir. She just walked straight into the Nami, got bubbled up, and deleted.
Oof, this Jin gets eaten up by Adoma.
A little bit out of position there. Got the kill on Sivir, but unfortunately, the rest of Brambleback were there to collapse on him.
Yep, that's going to be both ADCs down. It definitely feels like Brambleback has that we go where we want to power right now as the lead goes up to almost 4K.
Speaking of, Adolma just running straight at Stardust, doing some damage. He doesn't have the ultimate up to clean up a kill, though.
I really like this Righteous Glory build on Urgot. This team comp is so much fun. They're just running down their targets. Every ability just helps them do that.
If only they had a Karma.
Pickle Popper Zillion is looking really, really good this game. I mean, look at his CS right now.
Yeah, 223 at 25 minutes.
Level
really, really good showing from him.
Something that people always forget about too is I know there's always a big emphasis on kills and CS, but just the stats you get from being higher levels than your opponent can be huge. Right now, Pickle Popper has 3 levels on Jin.
Astro is 14, where Sivir is still only 12. So if Astro can find Aerofox by himself, that's going to be a kill over to Gromp.
Yeah, agreed. And it may only take a Charm Cube, too. Won't even have to alter Ignite, or she has Cleanse, but... And it looks like a push onto the Air Drake is going on now.
I'm not sure about the Nami ultimate. I mean, you really want that for disengage just because you're facing against a team who's a straight run at you comp.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. That is going to be... That and the Trundle Pillar are their strongest disengages right now. With that Nami ultimate down, they're going to have to be super safe. Nami's not that mobile. Jin's not that mobile.
And they have to be really careful what they're doing. They're pushing up without their Jin. And it looks like Adolma's going in. Enraged Ovary is coming in as well. Big freaking Rob is a little bit caught out. But a lot of defensive appealing coming out from this side of Team Gromp. And good amount of damage coming out. Big freaking Rob gets chained up by Adolma. Good ultimate coming down from that Urgot. A charm coming down onto Colonel Paco. He's taking a lot of Jin shots. Gets the Zillion ultimate out. And after all that, only one person died.
I can't believe how long Big Rob lived there. He was in the middle of it until that Adolma. He's a sniper with that ultimate. I remember seeing it last season. I swear to God, he knows how to bullet curve.
Yeah, it was. I thought everyone was going to get away, and then that ultimate came out and just slightly tagged him.
Yeah, and you were right too with the engage without the Jhin. He shouldn't be in bot lane by himself, even if that fight wasn't going to happen. As an ADC, you gotta have a buddy with you. You gotta use the buddy system, especially with this high engage comp.
I mean, he doesn't have to share his farm.
Does that hit too close to home as an ADC yourself?
No, not at all. I'm just saying, if they knew all 5 members were mid, he could just safely farm, come back, but his team, unfortunately, wasn't in the right spot. They got caught out a little bit.
Sure, for sure. More maybe an engage question than the ADC's positioning question.
But we do see Big Fucking Rob pretty much pushing a huge mini wave into the spot side, but Stardust is going to get caught out by Colonel Paco, getting stunned up into the wall, knocked up by the ult. Enraged over, he ults, the roots coming out, snares the Trundle for a little bit. A flash onto Astro, good cleanse coming out, and she ults and gets away. Then the Urgot comes in, says, you think you're out? You're going to die. Huge heals coming out from this Trundle, but unfortunately he's against 4 members. Ult coming out from Indolma to secure that kill.
That
so 3 dead.
And there's going to be the big bodies to block the Jhin ult. That healing on the Trundle was massive. He went from a quarter health to full health, but it just wasn't enough. Like you said, he's just beat into a corner. At the end of it, though, Big Rob does take a tower. We'll see if he can push for 2.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by this call from Bramble. If they had just sent, Adolma back to stop this turret, they could have easily just went straight for Baron with 4 men.
Yeah, you do want Arrow Fox. You want the Sivir damage on the Baron to try and melt it down as soon as possible. There still seems to be hesitation. I know I do it myself. There's always hesitation to take the Baron before inhibs, but the strong teams who know that you can't be engaged by the other team will take Baron up any chance they get.
A lot of damage coming down from Big Rob onto that Sivir. Unfortunately, he was caught out a little bit from that push.
And looks like
over and Pickle Popper just chasing him down. Yeah, I don't know if you want this fight. You don't have your tank in front of you. They're just going to collapse. They're trying to get behind Colonel Paco, looking for a flank, but it looks like Gromp's able just to walk out.
Yeah. Paco and Enraged Ovary, they smelled something in the air, but they were able to, looks like they were able to disengage.
And all that vision that Gromp was able to just put down on Baron immediately cleared out by Team Brambleback.
And this is that scary moment, are they baiting? Are they doing it? It's hard to tell. Well, not when the giant tree comes running at you, followed by a mechanical spider. I think they figured out they're not actually on the Baron.
And they do have this ward on blue buff, which is very convenient to see him just sitting in the jungle.
For sure. They're going to give the blue to Pickle Popper here.
Yeah. And Brambleback can really just sit back, pretend like they're doing the Baron, and look for a pick. I mean, they have a run at you, comp, but when you're forcing the other team to face check, it's very easy to get a pick.
Yeah, and they're just going to be dancing a lot. Looks like there's some in the bush. Adoma's kind of spidering around. And Pickle Popper goes to mid lane. And then they just say, screw it. They're going to run behind. We'll see if Colonel Paco can get behind Chimichangas here. No, they said to back off. Just a lot of posturing right now in mid lane. One bad team fight can cost you Baron at this stage in the game.
And another air drake coming up. It doesn't look like Brambleback's going to be going for it, though. Let's see if they actually just start this Baron up. There's pings on it. Doesn't look like the call is being made, though.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hesitation, but they have the HP. They have the buffer to start the Baron and then turn once they're engaged on. I'm not sure why they're not going for it. Nice charm by Astro. But he's 2 levels down from Pickle Popper. That's why he can't do the damage.
Getting him down to half health, though, really says that one more charm and he's dead. So Pickle Popper's going to have to play this really, really carefully.
Yeah, and if you can get the Zillion to use his ult and revive himself instead of someone else, that's the play you want to go for.
Right. And this is it right here. Brambleback was waiting for Big fucking Rob to show him the bot lane to catch that wave, and they immediately start up this Baron. Is down about 2/3 health, looking actually a little very pretty. The teleport comes out, big fight coming out. Roots from Enraged Overy at D1 Astro has to ult away, gets over the wall. Double bomb stuns up Chimichangas and Stardust. A good ultimate coming out. The Urgot is caught out. Pickle Popper on the back line there, just throwing out bombs. A lot of damage coming out. Sivir gets popped. Enraged Overy goes down. Huge teamfight win for Team Gromp. Adoma ends up getting the kill on the Cho'Gath, but what's the cost? Zillion goes down, ends up Wing flashing out, is exhausted, so a little slow, but able to walk out. Colonel Paco just going straight back in, though. Not sure that was the right call. Dolma getting chased down by the rest of Team Gromp. 4 men on him. He can't end up winning that fight. And overall, huge teamfight victory for Gromp, and they go straight to the Baron.
Absolutely. This puts them right back into the game. They were just slowly bleeding it out, but they were able to turn that fight around. If they can secure this Baron, the game can even out. Gives them a couple turrets. It puts gold in everyone's pockets.
Unfortunately, they don't have the fastest Baron clear. Oh, and Chimichanga's getting super low. Paco going in, though. Does damage. And Jin has to sit there with a bomb on his head, unable to get out. Oh no, Shimmy, are you going to live? And Pickle picking up 2 more kills with those bombs. And that's probably just Baron for Brambleback.
That was an insane play by Pickle Popper. He just went in by himself and he's like, if everyone's in a pit, it's much harder to miss my bombs. Goes in, gets that double kill. We'll see if they're able to secure this Baron a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean, it's the year of the pickle. That's what everybody's been saying. Pickle Popper showing up huge on the Zillion pick.
I agree. I mean, I know I like my cucumbers pickled, and he's showing me why.
Speaking of other people showing up, Adolma is currently 8-1-1 on this Urgot, taking up all the kills, not letting his team have any of them.
And take a look at his itemization. Not only does he have the Righteous Glory to get on top of you, he now has the Frozen Mallet. So once he starts autoing you, you're not going anywhere. You have to sit there and just take his shotgun legs over and over again.
Yeah, he's really just looking to get straight in the middle of the team fight and be a nuisance for everybody on the side of Team Gromp.
I mean, there's a reason why his Urgot was banned every game last season. I think he got it once and then never again. Maybe same thing's going to happen season 3. And they're going to start the Cloud Drake here, just because they can't engage fast enough. They need another Drake.
Must run faster. Oh, the wave clear from that Zillion is just silly.
That feels good. That feels so good. 323 CS for Pickle Popper. This is his year. I'm very, very impressed by his play this game. Making me a believer in the Time Master.
Yeah, we see a huge 5-man stack from Brambleback in the mid lane. Charm coming out onto Enraged Overy, but just a little bit of poke going down. Trundle ends up using his ultimate, so Enraged Overy takes more damage than he would have, but having the Trundle ult down is just such a good thing for Brambleback, because now all their tanky stats are there to stay for the next team fight.
Absolutely. And the thing about the Trundle ult too is ideally you want to be in the middle of the fight when you ult, because it gives you such a healing boost that they waste all their abilities on you. You press R, you go back up to full health, and then you're able to keep chomping away at them.
All right, and we see Big and Rob stepping up to the top lane. And it looks like Bramble want to start a fight. Enraged Overy throwing out the ultimate. Colonel Paco just running straight in, pushing people off this tower, and they take it for free.
I love watching that little Poppy run around. Even if he can't get anything, just the threat of getting slammed into a wall from
She's
Poppy
so
is too
fast.
much. It's too much. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I know he went up to try and correct the wave, but at this deficit, you can't have your big front line disappear for a second.
You also can't have him caught out in the jungle because he just got ulted by Adolma again and got cleaned up. Good double bombs coming up from Pickle Pop to the Snareman place. A lot of damage going down onto him.
A sniper. He is a sniper with that harpoon. Right into the meat grinder. Poppy Helicopter just warding people off again. Paco's doing a great job with zoning the enemy.
Yeah. Paco using the ultimate very wisely. Just charging it up in case anyone steps up, can knock him away. Doesn't end up having to use it though, so gets that cooldown back.
Yeah, there's some ults out there that just the threat of it will hold back an entire team. It's similar to Nocturne when he makes the whole screen go black. It doesn't have to go in, but just because you're blind, you can't engage. Poppy's whirling his hammer. He can turn that 5v5 into a 2v5.
Yeah, really clean play coming out from Brambleback. Taking that 3k gold lead and expanding it into an 8k gold lead right now. 17-8 in kill score.
Sure. Now they can start really pressuring. They have the super minions pushing bot side. They're going to start pushing on the opposite side of the map, which is what you always want to do. And they can start looking to close out unless there's some major team fight that goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this is really Astro's game. Oh no, Enraged Over, popping the Predator, goes in onto the Trundle. Chimichangas has to go away. Go coming in from the side, knocking up the Trundle, and ends up getting that kill. Meanwhile, Sivir gets a turret destroyed, but not much is going to come off of it. Huge team fight win for Team Brambleback, and they look to be pushing this inhibitor. 2 dead on the side of Gromp. They can't take this fight right now.
I don't know if they can take any more fights.
Oh, Flash coming in from Enraged Over, snaring up Astro. Astro cleansing out of it, though. The Zillion ultimate comes down onto Arrow Fox, and she's just running forward at this Ahri.
That was a great move, too, by Paco, actually headbutting the Cho'Gath out of the redemption circle, making sure he doesn't take any healing.
Nice stun coming out from Poppy onto the Ahri. Gets her into the wall, but she ends up just being able to walk away. A big fucking Rob ended up going down, but Enraged Over he did as well. So 4v3 fight right now. Oh my god, Adolma pulling in the Ahri. Another ultimate just barely snagging its target and destroying her. And now Adolma's just walking straight at the Jhin while the game ends.
What an engaged comp. What do you do against that? That is so... Once they get to that level where they become unkillable, you have to find disengages or you have to find picks. But Brambleback played it perfectly. They just stayed together as a big ball of HP and ran right at them.
Yeah, so, I mean, we said it before. The Jhin had to get ahead in order to be able to do any damage against that super tank front line. Unfortunately, he didn't, and walk at you comp just ended up walking at him.
Yeah, I agree with that. There may need to be some changes to the ADC choice. Perhaps, I mean, I like the Nami, but perhaps the usage of the abilities to disengage, because it's just hard when they're sped up, have 3 air drakes, and they're chasing you down.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what Gromp can come back with in game 2. But for now, we're going to send it over to a short break and get back to you guys in a little bit. Hello, and welcome back to game 2 between Team Gromp and Team Brambleback. We saw a little bit of a stomp coming out from Brambleback. They just ended up taking an early to mid game lead and just running over the other team.
Literally running over the other team with the speed ups. We had the Predator, Righteous Glory. These are all items that make your champions move faster, and they were well abused. They had such a hard engaged comp. that I don't think Gromp had an answer for. So I'm interested to see how they pick ban phase goes and what they do to try to mitigate that problem. What do you think there'll be some adjustments coming out of the Gromp side?
So I really think they needed to put Ace Clapius on a more attack speed 80 carry, like something like the Tristana. Probably would have been really good in the last team fight. You would have been able to stay safe with your W, your rocket jump, and the attack speed steroid would have been able to melt through whatever target the Trundle ulted.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. They need something a little slipperier, if that's a word. Something that they can basically get away once Team Brambleback decides to go. You need an ADC that can say, no, no, not yet. I'm going to back off.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like we're gonna have a substitution coming in. Aerofox not playing in the second game. Instead, Drofig is coming in to play that ADC position.
Nice. They might have a perhaps a different style coming in. I did like the Sivir from last game. I think her ultimate just helps out with the hard engage even more. But we'll see what Drofig brings to the table. And the first ban is Chimichanga's infamous Udyr. I don't think he's ever going to get to play this champion, and it's a shame too because he's super strong right now.
Yeah, just like Tom, never gonna be able to play Garen.
And they answer the Pickle Popper Zillion. They did not like his ultimate, which allows your champion to be restored back to half HP.
Yeah, it just felt so bad last game. You burned down a tank, then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, he's back to full health. I mean, Pickle Popper played that super well.
Thoroughly impressed with Popper Zillion. And then Aurelia is banned on Brambleback's side.
Yeah, that's another target ban against Big Fucking Rob. They really want to keep him down and allow Adoma to get that huge lane advantage like we saw in game one.
For sure, for sure. And they're gonna take away the Urgot. You just can't handle that tank and that poke. It's very he's very much a lane bully.
Yeah, and then the Katarina ban coming out against D1 Astro. She's very strong in that champ, and you just got to take it away from her.
Absolutely. We'll see if she has a another different answer, or she's gonna go back with the Ari. And Enrage Ovary just immediately asks for his Maokai.
Yeah, I mean, he ran him down last game very, very easily. So let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I would even leave the Pike pick up and get rid of the Maokai. Rage Overy's been solely picking that character. And then we're going to see a Sona for Stardust.
Yeah, Sona right now is very, very strong, but in a solo queue mentality. I mean, in team games, she's very squishy, so is very easily collapsed upon. And if she does get caught up by the Maokai, then she's probably going to be bursted out instantly.
Yeah, absolutely. There and then without having that tank in the on the support sides, you're going to have to make that up either in the top lane or the jungle. And it looks like they decide to go with the Warwick,
which we saw last week from Jimmy, completely destroyed the early game. He was what 3-0 in like 10 minutes, coming out huge.
And he was 3-0 against the Graves, and Graves is supposed to be the bully in that matchup. We have a Morgana, and they're taking the Tristana away, which we were suggesting that Gromp should take a look at.
Yeah, the Tristana from onto Drofig is going to be a really good pick, just because your ultimate, if you can time it right, you can knock the Warwick away from you when he jumps in.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll have to see if he can do that, and also if Drofig knows how to buffer Tristana's jump in order to get out of all the CC going to be coming out. And we have it. The Akali for Astro.
There we go. There we go. That last time the Akali, I was hoping you could see the mechanics was there. Astro just did not get the opportunity to show it off. So we're going to see if she's able to actually pop off and just melt everyone. And the first ban is Swain against Adoma.
And I actually talked to Astro after last week's game, and I was talking to her about how impressive her Akali was. And she basically responded with, "Oh, I played like crap. My Akali didn't do anything." We were hyping it up so much, so I'm very excited to see, good gameplay from her.
Very excited to see that. And it looks like they decided to ban the Jin, which is pretty interesting. I'm not sure if the Jin, if you're in an engaged comp, you want them on a Jin, but perhaps they're just trying to make Asclepius uncomfortable, taking him off the pocket pick.
Yeah, I think their thought process is keep Drofig safe, just to stick him in a lane where he doesn't really have to worry about dying, and hopefully he can whatever ADC. Sorry, this name always gets me. Asclepius.
I believe it's
Picks.
Asclepius.
Yeah, Drofig will be able to stay safe enough.
And is that an Olaf for Big Rob? Am I seeing that correctly?
And Big Rob's also gearing up with a Ghost Ignite right now.
He is ready to go.
Oh no, the Singed.
Adoma loves his Singed. He has so much fun with it, just running circles around. We'll see if he's able to pull this off again. And Asclepius is actually going to take a safer Ezreal pick here too. This is going to be Ezreal is harder to lock down just because his Q range is so far, and he has that teleport with E. So even if he misplays this, it's like an extra flash.
I'm sorry, I'm still really excited for this top lane matchup. Big
Olaf
fucking Rob
versus
going in
Singed.
hard against the Singed. I mean, Singed is a very annoying champ and can get people low very easily. But Olaf really excels when his health bar is down lower than half health. So he's going to be putting more and more damage out the more he chases after Singed. And he's going to be able to do that very easily with a Ghost as a summoner spell.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Olaf's passive is that, like you said, when his health goes lower, he actually attacks faster. And then you couple that with his W, which lets him heal and also attack faster. He might be a perfect matchup for Singed. He wants to be low when he fights, and most people say never chase a Singed. Olaf will run him down.
Well, I wonder who's faster with their ultimates coming up, because both give him extra move speed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big question is going to be: can Olaf land his axes to slow the Singed? If he's able to chuck him and pick him right back up, he'll probably be able to catch up to Adoma. If not, Adoma does know to have fancy feet.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about top lane Olaf is a lot of people underestimate his damage early on. But if Olaf lands one axe short range, you just pick it up and start throwing it again, and you'll never be able to get away from him. And with
Yeah,
Ignite coupled on top of this, I hope Adoma has the knowledge just to play it a little bit safe till he can actually start walking around the Olaf.
yeah. Olaf definitely wins this fight. Level 1. Olaf, I actually don't know too many champions that beat Olaf level 1. Even Fiora cannot beat Olaf level 1. That's a tough matchup for her. And she is usually wants to fight level 1 except against the Darius. So maybe Darius. Maybe that's the only answer to Olaf. And I do know Adoma does play Darius as well. Actually, I don't know anything that Adoma doesn't play. It's hard to ban the man out, huh?
Heimerdinger.
all right. You got
He
me
hasn't
there.
played that since like season 4.
So let's actually move into the mid lane matchup here. We have Orianna into Astro's Akali. How do you feel about that?
So the Orianna is going to be able to bully the Akali early on just because the passive auto attack damage that Orianna gets is going to be huge. I'm not sure how the ball stealth interaction works between Ori and Akali. I think the Akali will have enough space just to move around where Orianna keeps the ball, and once it spreads out enough, if the Orianna ball's in the middle of the shroud, Akali, you'll have no ability to actually hit her with your ultimate.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You think the shroud spreads out farther than the ultimate
Yeah, it definitely
AoE.
does. But I think the shroud's big enough that the Akali will be able to move around it, so Ori will have no idea when she can actually ult.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, I think she will, as long as she's not able to to get like a sensor on her or anything. And for those mages, those immobile mage players who have trouble against assassins, what Darkhead is referring to is in typically assassins in the mid lane need level 3 to burst you down. The way you prevent that is while they're trying to get there, you need to continually auto attack them, to get their health low enough where they can't all in you. Oriana's passive, every time she auto attacks you, she gets more magic damage on the next auto attack. I think it stacks up 2 times. So she's a great answer to mid lane assassins if you're able to put the damage down early enough.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that Pickle Popper did go Ignite, though. I think a defensive summoner spell like Exhaust or Barrier probably would have supported him better. But let's see if he can actually pick up any early kills.
Yeah, definitely. I see most Orianas go with the barrier because unless you have your W up and it only gives her a little bit of move speed, so it's tough for Oriana to disengage once people get on top of her.
Yeah, and the bot lane matchup should really go to Colonel Paco and Tristana. I mean, Sona, Ezreal have the early push, but after level 2 and 3, if the Morgana and Tristana aren't poked down enough, the threat of the Morgana bind is just going to become too high that the Sona is going to be really, really scared to step forward.
Absolutely, and if Morgana can get that bind onto Sona, like you said earlier, she's very weak. So Tristana should put the grenade on Sona's head, W jump in and melt her from one binding it.
Yeah, and once again from Brambleback, we see a lot of single target CC coming out from the Morgana bind and the Maokai snare and the singed flip. They're once again looking to run straight at Team Gromp. Let's see if Team Gromp can try to avoid getting to that late game. And
yeah, Brambleback seems to be really favoring this lockdown style. Singe knows. We were talking about running at people before. Singe is all about running. And we'll see right now as the game starts if there's any if they're going for safe starts, if Gromp's going to try and get something going with the Morg binding, or if she starts cool.
I mean, from what I've seen of Gromp or Brambleback, they really like to just play it safe in the beginning, not throw any early leads, just because they do have such a strong team fighting presence.
Yep, and it looks like they're going to be doing the same. Actually, both sides will be just posturing up, getting the vision, making sure there's no cheesing going on.
Speaking of cheesing, I wonder if Adolma's going to be trying for any proxy stuff.
Now, he has practiced before. There is a proxy you can do by stealing the enemy's raptors with Singed. It makes you get level 2, I believe, after 2 melees in the top lane if you're able to secure all raptors. And it looks like actually Warwick's going to start red.
Yeah, unfortunately for Adolma, though, D1 Astro is just sitting right on top of the Raptors, so would see any potential cheese coming out.
For sure, for sure. And right to start off, Pickle Popper is trying to step up and get those autos in. We'll see how the positioning goes.
Yeah, I'm expecting a huge CS lead to come out for Pickle Popper in this lane.
Yeah, he did so well last time with Zillion. I can only imagine now with Ori how large it will grow.
And a couple of question mark pings coming out from Adolma, noticing that Rob wasn't in lane to start. So they might have the call that Chimmy started on the top side.
Yeah, I mean, bot lane did do their as best as they could to hide before getting to lane, so it wasn't as obvious, but yeah, that's pretty big tell. Adoma's always keep an eye out for those sort of things.
Yeah. Good trading coming down in the bot lane. Stardust really stepping up, doing a lot of damage to this Tristana, already down to half health. Unfortunately, they don't get the push, though, so Connor Poggle hits level 2, gets the binding onto Stardust. A lot of damage getting put down, but she will be able to heal that up with the W. Good trade coming back from Asclepius onto Colonel Paco. Bot laners really, really damaged, and Warwick is down on this bot side. Looking to take up the Scuttle Crab, though.
Like we said before, just one binding on the Sona she's just so fragile. But she does have that healing up, and it looks like she's back up to half HP. Paco's just gonna have to burn all his pots. And Drofik actually blows Flash as Chimichangas goes to bot lane.
Good binding coming out from Colonel Paco, though, catching the Warwick in his tracks. A lot of damage coming back down. Asclepius doesn't have enough to take down Colonel Paco, though.
Very, very close there. I wonder if that heal right before Warwick got there was a misclick, or he just wanted to make sure he was full health.
Gank coming in top lane. Enraged Ovary doesn't have Predator up, but is walking straight at Olaf. Big fucking Rob pops his ghost and just walks away.
It's a good call. No need to play around with that, because the thing with Singe is, no matter how low he looks, he still magically survives. So he can still run at Big Rob if Maokai's locking him down. Meanwhile, mid lane, it looks like Astro has already forced out Pickle Popper and has a major CS lead and XP lead.
Yeah, that mini wave getting shoved into the turret is huge for Astro. She's going to be able to hit 6 before Pickle Popper if the lane goes the way it is. And I'm actually really surprised that Astro was able to shove Pickle Popper out of the lane. But it does look like Astro ended up blowing the Flash and Ignite. So with those summoners down, we'll have to see if Enraged Over can capitalize on that.
Yeah, because also Pickle Popper has both sums still up. So now Pickle Popper has that lane priority, and Astro's going to have to play it a little safe. And we'll see how that CSing goes. It looks like the wave's going to be pushing into Pickle Popper. Chimichangas is in the area, but that bush is warded. Pickle Popper is aware that he's around there, so nothing should come out of that.
Yeah, good amount of poke come down from Pickle Popper, taking D1 Astro down to about health. A lot of that damage did come from that huge mini wave that got shoved in, though.
For sure, but like we said earlier, now Astro does have the level 5 advantage. We have Enraged Over running in bot lane.
Yeah, flash binding coming out from Colonel Paco. Drofik ends up going in with his W, but doesn't have enough damage to take out the Ezreal. A lot of healing coming out from that Sona.
Yeah, and Asclepius was in a rough spot, but did have the nerves not to use his heal, so that is still up. It smacks Paco with a Q. Paco's got to be careful. He's getting a little low, and looks like he's going to back up.
I gotta say, the best feeling as a Kleptomancy Ezreal is when you have no mana left except for 1 Q, and then Kleptomancy gives you a mana pot. It's great.
That RNG is busted. That's what it is.
The game just knew you needed mana.
So nice of Riot.
Yeah, if only they could give it to Freak.
I hope he never has mana. I love that meme.
Big fucking Rob ends up shoving a huge mini wave into Adolma and gets some deep vision down onto Enraged Over's blue buff.
Yep, and this kind of deep warding gives that because it's going to give Rob that confidence to push a little harder. Looks like he's going to sit in bush with a pink ward and see if he can get something out of Adoma, if Adoma will overextend.
I mean, he is level 6. Adolma is walking straight into him to get the ward. Unfortunately, Adoma was really smart and didn't just face check the bush. So good play by him.
Yeah, that's that kind of intelligence. He always suspects someone's in the bush, and that's why he's able to push up like he normally does. Even though in this matchup, gotta give it up to Rob. He's been really bullying the Singed.
Yeah, speaking about people being bullied, it seems like every lane for Team Gromp is actually up in CS. Oh, Astro going in on Pickle Popper, gets the Ignite off. A lot of damage coming down, hits the E, goes in. Pickle Popper gets the ult. Last auto attack, cleans up Pickle Popper, but the turret ends up getting Astro. Good trade there from both players.
Wow. Now, if he just barely, Astro just barely missed that that ult, he would have been able to clean up, maybe hold on to her life. But that first blood onto Akali is huge, and actually, her wave may even out. So she's still up technically in CS.
And we see pings coming down from Chimichangas onto top lane. Adoma is shoving up. Does have a ward in this push, but Warwick has a lot of move speed. Big fucking Rob is chasing his Singed, going down super low. But we talked earlier, that gives him a lot of lifesteal when he comes up. Gets the fear off onto the Singed and the Suppress. Big fucking Rob takes him down.
And the kill goes over to Big Rob. Rob does not want to get bullied around this game. He's got the CS advantage right now. He's got the kill advantage. I think the Olaf is going to fit his playstyle a lot better than the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, definitely. This Olaf late game is going to get really scary. Big fucking Rob says, "You going to run at me?" I'm running at you.
They're definitely turning this around. This is what I like to see. This game is starting to swing in Gromp's favor. I was afraid it might have been too disheartening to lose the way they did last game, but they're coming out really strong right now.
Astro in the mid lane getting snared up from the Rage Ovary. Good flash to get away from that knockup, though. It looked like she tried to go in when she had no vision on the spot side river, and Pickle Popper was able to stay safe enough for Enraged Ovary to come in and counter it. Yeah,
still able to flash away. She is very slippery on her Akali. Frustrating to gank for. And in bot lane, it looks like Asclepius and Stardust are starting to win the lane for Gromp.
Yeah, they're amassing a huge lead. And with all the pressure they're building up, Chimichangas feels perfectly safe to take this Ocean Drake.
For sure. And that's one of the strengths of Warwick, right? With his passive healing, he's able to solo objectives like this a lot better. It looks like he was maxing his Q. Personally, I prefer to max the W just because your attack speed allows you to munch Drake so much faster. But Chimichangas doesn't care. He'll attack slower and still secure the objective.
Yeah, good amount of poke damage coming out from Asclepius. Really pressuring this Tristana Morgana.
You know, if Stardust is able to get a note.
Coming down for a roam, though. And he's walking back to mid lane.
That's tough. They're going to be able to... Gromp's going to be able to push in this bot lane and just get that CS lead even higher. I mean, there's a 1 kill difference, but look at there's a 1k gold difference, and that's because of the CS lead in every single lane.
Yeah, the extra kill does end up helping him, but the CS leads are growing really, really big in the bot lane and top lane. Mid lane, though, Astro ends up kind of behind. She was ahead for a while, but Enraged will be coming back with the Predator. Is going straight on to Astro, gets the flash root off, but is under turret a little bit too far. Ignite does go down onto him, but he was able just to walk away.
Very low. And there's a little FU ult from Enraged Ovary. Just a rooter under tower as he moonwalks away.
We see Chimmy hunting for this Maokai. Unfortunately, he's on the wrong side of the lane, though.
Yep. Big Rob and Chimmy, they're maybe going for a turret dive here. Now, Astro's Shroud is down, which stops a lot of the tower dive kill potential. So instead, it looks like Big Rob and Chimmy are going to go for the Herald. I like this call a lot.
Yeah, definitely. They knew the Maokai was super low and that he was on the bot side, so it's a very good call from them just to secure this and take an early turret with it.
Yep, and then meanwhile on bot side, there's a lot of skirmishing. Paco's been getting really good with these roots, I have to say. It can be hard to hit them in lane, but Paco's been doing a bang-up job.
He's been using the vision brush very, very well. Oh, and a kill going down on the top lane. Chimichangas and Big fucking Rob just running down Adolma. Singed, unable to get away.
And you know, with Herald, if they want, that's a dead tower. It looks like instead Rob's going to back.
Yeah, but they're still dropping it. So this tower is going to go down. Enraged Ovary is going to be here to answer the Rift Herald. Oh, no, Chimmy, he didn't have the support to actually stay to take the turret. So the Rift Herald just dies.
Almost. It
And
is.
teleport come down onto bot lane. A lot of damage went down onto Colonel Paco, but Adoma is here as Calapias doesn't have the ability to get over the wall. Oh no! Sona ult stops Adoma from being able to flip the Ezreal. Tristana jumps in though, flip back from Adoma, and the kill goes over to Drofig. Very nice TP coming out to stop that bot lane push.
Yeah, that was really well played by Adoma, securing that kill. Even after getting Sona ulted. The only thing though is he's probably going to lose top tower for that unless Enraged Over can head off this Olaf.
Yeah, it looks like Enraged Ovary is going to try to stop it. But, I mean, if Rob wanted to, he could literally just run out the tower, press R, take it, and run away. Nothing Enraged Ovary can actually do about that.
Yeah.
Oh, Adoma is up, though. Big fucking Rob in a lot of big fucking trouble. Has the ult, but it's a little bit too late. Can he outrun the singed Maokai, though?
Oh,
The answer is no.
Yeah, I'm with Pickle Popper going down. Even if he was able to outrun him, just wouldn't happen. Man, did Adoma walk all the way from bot lane to top and get there in time? That's insane.
Yeah, I have no idea how he got there so fast. He definitely didn't back, though.
Just Singe doing Singe things, I guess.
I mean, he already does have level 2 boots completed, so that gives him a extra, what, 45 movement speed?
And he's going to try and pressure this tower right now. This is the one weakness of Singed, however. He can push you up, push the towers up, but once he gets there, he just doesn't do that much damage to the tower.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful now because Big fucking Rob is coming back to the lane. And D1 Astro also is there to defend this turret.
Yeah.
And Adoma doesn't have any tanky stats right now, so he could get blown up if he stays too long. Astro going in. He flashes out, gets the Ignite down onto Adoma, and last auto attack will secure it.
There we go. That's 2 kills on the Akali. Astro's going to start snowballing off of that.
Yeah, super good roam coming out from him. Or her.
Very, very smart.
And with Adoma dead, that gives Big fucking Rob free reign to just shove this turret in. And I mean, there's only 300 life left on it, so a couple autos and it's gone.
Yep, and it looks like Astro back and is going to try and answer Pickle Popper, but Pickle Popper's roaming down.
Yeah, Enraged Ovary is about to meet Chimichangas in this bush. It doesn't look like either of them saw each other, but Chimmy ends up... Oh, no, he's staying around. Everyone's going in for this fight. Enraged Ovary is there. Pops the Predator. He's going in. Gets the snare onto Asclepius. And the ult comes out from Asclepius. A lot of damage coming down. Colonel Paco super low. Has the stopwatch off. And it looks like everyone's getting out with slivers of HP.
Just barely survives. That's incredible. Tristana got so low. Only had 100 HP before she backed off.
Yeah, but this allows them to put down a lot of pressure onto this turret. Everyone's going to have to back on the side of Brambleback. So the CS lead is just continuing to grow for this Ezreal. And with Kleptomancy on top of that, he has an enormous gold lead.
Yeah, and it looks like he's actually going to go the Triforce build Ezreal.
Rob picking up a clean kill onto Adoma. The Singed not being able to stay in this lane anymore. This Olaf is just too fed.
Gonna have to watch that Mountain Drake down there. Great steal by Enraged Ovary. Adam watched that entire time.
Did Enraged Ovary just blow a flash trying to get over the wall?
No, he popped the plant.
Yeah, he popped the plant, but he wasted his flash.
A missed flash. Oh, I did not notice that. Oh, such a great place. Followed up by just a little bit of a mistake there. Yeah, so when you're the jungler and you are on red side, that's why you want to pull the dragon out, because with that vision, that ward placed right there, and if you stay in the pit, Enraged Ovary can pull moves like that. He knows what the level is and what he has to do to jump in and smite it.
Shimmy getting caught out a little bit, though. Drofig jumping over the wall, gets the kill onto the Warwick, resets his W, so he's able to get out of that. D1 Astro seems like she's in a little bit of a rough spot, but is able just to walk away.
As usual. Astro's the slipperiest person in Rec League. Able to dive in. Couldn't get anything, but saves her life.
Asclepius is so bold on this Ezreal. Always eating forward just to get an extra Q off and barely sidestepping a couple of the Morgana Qs.
That is dangerous.
It's
Normally,
so dangerous.
yeah, when you see an Ezreal E forward, that's your mark to go in after him because that's how he stays alive. You see him reach over, trying to get something done.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had a pink ward in that river bush, so they knew he was coming.
Now, as this game goes on, do you put it in Tristana's favor, or are you gonna put it in Ezreal?
I mean, having the huge front line of a Maokai singed for Tristana always goes into the late game. A 6-item Tristana can never be matched. But the question is, will it get to that point? And if it does get to late game, will D1 Astro be able to just pop the Tristana before Drophic could do any damage?
Yeah, and look at the gold lead right now on Ezreal. This is
it's
huge.
almost 2K. Or sorry, 1.5. But still really, really big.
Yeah, Gromp is showing up big time in this game. I really like where it's going. And bot lane's winning harder. We have Rob actually beating out Adoma on the top lane, and that is no small feat. I love his Olaf pick, and it counters the Singe perfectly.
Yeah, still though, no matter how far Brambleback end up falling behind, they always have that great potential for an easy pick from the Maokai, Singed, and Morgana. There's so much, like, they're losing in the map, they're losing in CS, they're losing in kills, but they have so much potential just to turn around the game at any moment.
For sure. That's what's almost disheartening about this. The lead they have, I still give it to Brambleback in a team fight.
Yeah, plus Orianna is only going to get stronger from this point. And we've seen some very, very good play out from Pickle Popper this series.
He is the pickle. He's been...
Sorry, Ezreal just almost eat into a Morgana binding.
That aggressive E.
The top lane, we're going to have one of our questions answered. Oh, never mind. Big freaking Rob was chasing down Adoma, but ends up turning around just going back for the CS. And then a huge 4-man stack up in the mid lane for Brambleback. And if you let Tristana just free hit these towers, they're gonna go down. Maokai ult comes out just to zone off everybody from... Yeah, and a huge binding coming out, but Colonel Paco steps up way too far forward. A good stone ultimate coming out, catches out Adoma and Enraged Overy. But D1 Astro ends up going down, gets slipped. Big fucking Rob is here. Doesn't get the ult off before Tristana shoves him away. And then he's just chasing down Pickle Popper. Good ultimate coming out from Pickle Popper. Does a lot of damage, but he ends up going down. Warwick in the back line, taking out the Tristana, going on to Enraged Overy. Gets slowed from the Chilling Smite. Gets the knockback from his Q, but can he get away? Sona has the move speed from it. Fear comes off from Chimichangas. And Enraged Overy ends up going down. So 3-for-1 team fight in favor of Team Gromp.
That is pretty insane. I think I take back what I said about the team fight because they started Gromp started that fight 3v5 and they ended up only losing Astro for it.
Yeah, I mean, Pickle Popper wasn't really there for the start of the fight, and they kind of just got a little bit caught out. And then, I mean, you can't deal with Rob right now. He is huge running into your backline like that with no peel.
Yeah, his ultimate's like the perfect answer to this Maokai Morg Orianna combo because you can't peel him once he's turned all red and Vikingish.
And I love the build that's coming out for Rob. Going for the Titanic Hydra into the Blade of the Ruin King. He's going to be able to destroy the Singed in the 1v1 side lane matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. The Blade of the Ruin King does that % health damage. I was about to say, I don't know if they have an answer to these huge tanks after I saw Astro drop, but if Rob's able to get on top of them, he's going to do more than enough.
Oh, and we see D1 Astro being destroyed by the Tristana Morgana. Getting a little bit caught out there trying to push up those side lanes. And that gives a free air drake over to Team Brambleback.
Yeah, just a little bit out of position there is no good.
I don't know if they want to fight this. Teleport coming in from behind. Singed is going to be behind the 3-man stack of Gromp. It gets the flip onto Chimichanga. Chimmy has the flash ult away. Sona gets the move speed, but Singed is running her down. Flashes down, gets the flip back on. Enraged over, he comes in for the snare. 2 kills. Oh, no, only 1 kill going down. Sona ends up dying. But with all this happening, Big Rob is in the top lane, just shoving down that turret. Has it down to about half health right now.
Yeah. Looks like Adoma's going to try and answer him, and he's going to perhaps walk away. Or is he going to take this fight?
I mean, he can take the fight, but he has to be really, really careful because everybody's going to come up for him.
Yeah, just take that flip, say thank you, and run away. Looks like Tristana's Drofig is going to push out bot lane, then back a little bit here. Yeah, so if you're...
I'm sorry, if you're what? You cut out there. Hello? All right, so I think we lost Endo for a little bit. We will let you guys know when he comes back. But right now, I think Gromp really has to just focus on playing around their Olaf, get that 4-1 push out, and get a lot of deep vision inside of Brambleback's jungle just so they can try to get an easy pick from D1 Astro. I mean, this Akali has a good amount of damage right now and is almost done with the Zoni's Hourglass. So as soon as she jumps on anyone, they're most likely going to be popped. As long as it's not the Singed or the Maokai. And we see a little bit of posturing around Baron. Adoma clearing out vision. Team Brambleback does have a good amount of clear speed if they want to start it up, but they are still pretty far behind in this game. Almost 4K gold lead for Team Gromp. And this Olaf sitting in the top lane, getting his CS down. He's getting really, really big, finishing up the 2 items. And a huge engage coming out from Enraged over. Good ultimate from Sona. Clears, stuns up the Maokai and the Singed. And nothing's going to be coming from this. D1 Astro going back on the Singed. Olaf is here. It pops the ultimate. It's running in. Enraged over. He ends up going down. We see Pickle Popper not getting the ult off in time. And everyone from Team Brambleback is just having to run away. Good snare come down onto Big fucking Gromp. And Drofig's there to pick up the kill. Ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of Team Gromp. And there might be more. Chimichanga's looking to run down the Singed, but gets snared up. Oh my god. Asclepia is jumping in on Colonel Paco. Destroys him with a Q damage. Oh. Has that Muramana finally transformed and does so much damage with those Qs. And it looks like Team Gromp is going to stay and try to push for this turret. Akali going in, gets the Shroud up, but Singed flips her out of it. Drops turret aggro, and Chimichangas picks it up. The Singed ends up getting that kill, so 1-for-1 trade right there. But Team Gromp does end up getting the turret. And Maokai is stepping up. Doesn't look like he wants to run at the Ezreal, though. And Team Gromp gets to back out with their gold. Yeah, sure. So in the meantime, while Endo is missing, I'm going to be joined by Ratty Z, who is currently producing.
Thanks, everybody. As we're watching this game unfold, it's looking pretty exciting. I've been here biting my tongue because of all the exciting things that have been going on in these team fights.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. So what do you think that Team Brambleback has to do to get back into this game?
Team Brambleback has this potential to use that Maokai that engage. They really need to single out some of these damage dealers right away, or take care of something like Sona. Just get him out of the fight very quickly. And they have to do it when they see Big Rob trying to push a side lane, because he's going to continue to do that because no one can answer him. So they need to take that, jump in, and murder somebody before Rob can show up.
Yeah, that's pretty much right on the money. Also, Rob really doesn't have... I mean, once it gets to late game, do you think Rob's going to be able to match this Singed, both of them 6 items?
If they both have 6 items, probably. I mean, Olaf is going to do a significant amount of damage. He's going to have full tank items. He's going to be very hard to kill. He's going to run at you and essentially just not die to anything. So it's going to be really scary for the Tristana, but especially if he Rob times his ult correctly and does not get blown back by the Tristana ult. It's going to be very, very quick work of the Tristana.
It looks like Asclepius is a little bit caught out here. He gets blown up by Pickle Popper, but they end up going for this fight. Singed was in the bot lane, so wasn't able to join. Teleports into the fight. Morgana's super low, Tristana's super low, but nobody ended up going down. The 3 kills on the side of Team Brambleback, and it looks like they're looking for more. Chimichangas gets the fear onto Ndoma, but Ndoma wants more. He's running straight at this
They're gonna
warrior.
get him.
Yeah, the speed up's coming in from the Orianna, definitely helping him with this chase.
Yeah, the hard part about that one is that Big Rob was so close to getting a triple kill, but that he could not finish them out. They were standing right inside that blue gate for the blue team, so they could not get inside the base, and they were able to be safe from Olaf's wrath.
Oh, and it looks like Drofig just disconnected, so we'll have to see what the issue is there.
It's like some sort of epidemic tonight. It seems like we're getting a few people dropping off the game. They're unable to join in. We have Endo dropping off the cast. We got Drofig dropping off. We had Quaz dropping off the previous game. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
Rice was out too.
There's a pause in the first game too. Pretty sure there's been a pause every series tonight.
I believe this is the segment we call Rito Please.
Internet, why are you so bad?
Exactly. Fix your stuff. But other than that, I mean, this game has been very exciting. Asclepius and Stardust actually played that bottom lane very well versus them too. It was back and forth the whole time. Got a nice CS lead going on the Ezreal. Although now, as you saw, Tristana catching up with items is getting those kills. I'm not sure where this one's going to go. It all depends on how the team fights go and how the macro play is. They're almost even in towers too, right? There's down 2 towers from team...
3 towers, I
Brambleback?
believe.
Is it 3? Okay.
Yeah, I mean the top lane
the
is
top lane's
super
almost done.
low
Got
though.
it.
Yeah, I mean I think it's really going to come down to Team Gromp starting up the Baron, trying to look for a catch, and then they're just not going to have the setup perfectly. So the Enraged Over is just going to probably going to have a really nice ultimate, catch some people up, and then the game's probably just going to end from there.
It seems very true. And the other part about it is that Pickle Popper has been hitting some pretty disgusting ultimates to turn a couple of these team fights closer than what they would have been. So watch for that. I'm expecting a Pickle Popper onto Enraged Ovary or onto a Doma, and then we're going to see a just disgusting Orianna ult that just flips them all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, the communication that comes out from Team Brambleback is so strong during these late game team fights. They have a lot of good, clean, crisp map rotations, so we're going to see if Gromp can continue their snowball just to stop it from getting too late. But we end up getting back into the game.
I want to see in chat. I want to see who we think's going to win. Are we going to see exclamation point Gromp? What's the other one? Exclamation point Bramble? Is it Brambleback?
I believe it's Bramble.
Let's see it. What do you want, chat? Do you want exclamation point Gromp or do you want exclamation point Bramble? I want to see it. Because I want to know who wants to win. Let's go.
I mean, this game has a lot on the line. It's for Brambleback to stay undefeated and secure that 4-0, and for Gromp to pick up their first win. And they've looked super good in the early stages of this game.
Oh, absolutely. Gromp is definitely playing very well. It's in their hands right now. They're still up 3K. They're up a couple towers. They got a very strong team fight. You cannot stop Rob right now. He has the items to take down not only waves, he can push, he can take down tanks. He's ready for it. It looks like we're about to get our wish.
And Domo
Turbo
just
speed
running
singed.
straight after Astro, going in. Enraged over, coming out with big ultimate. Huge ultimate coming out from Pickle Popper, taking down the Warwick. And then D1 Astro answering with a Morgana kill. Drofake has no health left. Everybody
snipe!
coming out from Brambleback has to run. Huge gameplay coming out from Team Gromp right now.
Oh, that was sick. The big snipe. Big Rob threw that axe and hit Tristana trying to get away, which was a big deal because this fight could have been turned around very quickly with all those low health bars. But this is it. I mean, they should have enough. They do have the 2 range supports, and they have Big Rob, which they can't really be engaged on right now. Both side lanes are pushing, I believe, towards blue side. So right now, it's all up to Team Gromp to see what they want to do with this lead they just kind of created for themselves. Looks like they're clearing vision, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the Warwick dying, they don't have the ability to actually start up the Baron. But they still get a lot of priority around it. And we were talking earlier about this Tristana in the late game and how much damage she's going to be able to deal. But Astro jumped straight on her. Pretty much did 90% of her health bar, so Tristana couldn't really be in the fight at all.
I have to say, Rob no longer cares about Singed. He took like 30% or 20% of his health and then immediately healed it back up on the wave.
Yeah, the Blade of the Ruined King Spirit Visage combo was
gross.
such a smart itemization against the Singed.
Yeah, Rob takes a bunch of damage in team fights. He hits a couple people. He's back up to full health. It's really disgusting. Drofig getting this the red buff, though, is going to be a big deal for the next team fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have that Infinity Edge completed yet. So still waiting for that 3rd item, Power Spike.
Yeah, right now, I mean, you have to give it to Gromp because they have a couple very powerful tools to quickly finish off this fight. Yes, Team Brambleback has this big engage. They have that turbo singe that you saw, gold and yellow, just cruising into the team. But you can't just let a Kali ultimate to the back line, get an assassinate off on your Tristana, because afterwards that team fight is over.
Yeah, so we really have to see how well Gromp can play around Vision right now in this Baron area, as they have the tools to end out this game if they want to.
Yeah, right now they're setting it up. They have sweepers, Colonel Paco. Oh boy, they get caught out though. Just the thing they didn't need, but immediately Big Rob just turns on his ult, and they didn't know if he wanted to stay or leave. I think he should have just stayed and kept fighting right now because he took a lot of damage trying to walk away. So that was a 2 for nothing in the lane, and Colonel Paco goes in, puts on his Zonias, flips in Asclepius, and this is just, it's getting brutal right now. They're just going to have to get out of here, just going to have to cede the Baron and start defending. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a huge ultimate coming out from Pickle Popper, getting Chimichangas and Rob close to the team and super low. I don't think they can actually defend this Baron at all. I mean, maybe if Astro wants to be a hero, she can try to clean up Drofig or Colonel Paco. But this Baron is so low right now. And it raged over. He still has smite up.
Ooh.
He goes in. Oh, almost gets the
very
Baron
close.
kill.
I'm
Good
sure
secure coming out from
that
rage
was a very admirable effort for D1 Astro. I think if we would have slowed that down, we could definitely see a very, very low health bar. Definitely made Enraged Over sweat, I can guarantee that much.
Yeah, and it's a good use of Akali's kit in order to get in, flash to get close to the wall, and then get back out. So a lot of skill coming out from D1 Astro. But unfortunately for Team Gromp, Brambleback secures the Baron, and the gold lead is now less than 400. So
less than 400 gold. That one was tough. The problem with that is we really saw Brambleback make an educated guess on where they're going to be waiting for them, and it paid off. We got the huge, like I said, Pickle Popper ult, threw him all over the place. Rob immediately turned on that ultimate, but he ended up canceling the final kill on Tristana. I think it would have been a big deal if he would have just let that auto attack go in, get the kill there, and it would have been a different fight once again. Unfortunately, that misstep cost them a lot.
Yeah, and right now it looks like Team Brambleback is pushing up in this top lane.
I do like seeing Asclepius right now. He's getting a lot of good poke on all these members of Brambleback. He's throwing it out there constantly. He's really making them work for their every foot that they gain in the Gromp territory. They're taking a little bit of poke to the face, knocking off those barriers, knocking off the Banshee's Veil.
Yeah.
Oh, but here's
The
the
strangest thing
Elder
about this
Dragon.
game, though, is that there are no blue trinkets on either team. So there's no far vision in order to see if Brambleback is actually starting this up.
We just need to see. Rob just needs to turn it on right now and go in. Go get him. And turn it on. There it is.
Just run at him. And he
Boom.
ends up
Oh,
going
Vincent
in.
gets
Smite
it, though.
comes down on the Elder Drake for Enraged Ovary. A good ultimate comes down, clearing out Chimichangas. And then the Tristana just jumps into the team fight, gets popped by the Ezreal, but Orianna gets a triple kill, ends up going for more. She's looking to clean up, gets another, gets the Quadra. She get the Penta? Oh no, Singed ended up stealing
Singed.
it.
Bad friend Singed with his automatic dust. The beekeeper Singed steals the way like a dirty insect. The pentakill from the year of the pickle. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Everyone knows bees don't like pickles, so
Exactly.
can't really give it to 'em.
Disgusting. Pickles are disgusting. Ah, that one was really unfortunate. It was very close. Again, that's one of those things that on a razor's edge, if Gromp would have got that steal off on the Elder Dragon, it would have been a different story. But you gotta give it to Brambleback. They made the call. They went in heavily. They allowed the Morgana to zone them. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to walk into it at that point. You just let the Morgana throw or binding hit somebody, and you just kind of walk through her because what's she gonna do? Turn on her ult, but you have to get in there to prevent that Elder Dragon. They just did not have the time.
And I mean, Team Brambleback already had 3 Drakes, so that Elder Dragon really, really hurts when anything damages you. But the worst part about it, I think, is Big Fucking Rob ran into the Dragon Pit instead of just chasing down the back line of the Tristana and the Orianna. If he put on the ult, ignored the Dragon Pit, and just went straight for the fight, that probably would have turned out completely differently.
That's true. And to give you guys an idea, I know a lot of people don't actually care about the numbers too much when it comes to it, but the Elder Dragon buff is 45 plus 45 per stack of Elemental Dragon and true damage over 3 seconds. Gross.
Which is a lot of damage, especially when you're a collie getting caught out by a giant tree. Using the Shroud ends
D1
up
Astro
cleaning
gets
up
the
Pickle
kill.
Popper, wins that 1v1 fight, but Pickle Popper is here to finish up.
D1
D1
Astro's
Astro
gonna try
has
make
to
this
pop
happen.
his Zonius, but doesn't have a lot of defense. The ult out from Pickle Popper ends up cleaning up that kill.
1-for-1 trade though, but 3 assists on the side of Bramblebacks, giving them that gold lead that they need right now. They're up by 5k, 4k.
Yeah, but taking out the Colonel Paco really helps slow down the game. And the Elder Dragon still is on Team Brambleback for a little bit longer.
Ask Clappius, about to get clapped. The year of the godlike pickle right now. They really can't. They have to seed this back. Gotta going up. They got the rest of the team going to protect their top tower.
Well, they can try and
finds
take this
himself.
3v2
Pickle
fight.
is going
Big fucking
down.
Rob running at him.
Enraged over. He's gonna try Pickle Popper goodbye. Sin's gonna come in, do his best. Oh, Drofeg, you are in a place that you don't want to be in, my friend. Maybe he does want to be there. Oh. He gets the kill on Drofeg. They're gonna prevent themselves from losing too much. But Chimichangas is gonna be going down. So is Stardust. I think it's gonna be another full team wipe. That was a valiant effort there by Chimichangas, really stalling that tower damage that's gonna come out because now D1 Astro is back and. I mean, really, they should be fighting under this tower right now. I think they're going to be... the Stardust will die, but they can definitely get a kill on this. If they would have stayed on the tower the whole time. This is going to be bad. Singe is going to kill... Oh! Gotta hit that ult as fast as you can.
A valiant effort coming out from D1 Astro, but unfortunately...
Oh, Asclepius, boom!
Oh my god, Asclepius. Nice
Sniped.
EQ coming out. But unfortunately, he's in a bad spot. The Singed and Maokai just straight on top.
This is going to go well for you, friend, but that was a good snipe. You got to give him that.
Yeah, but the mini waves are freaking huge for Team Brambleback right now.
Yeah, this is big. They're definitely going to take this down. Big Rob is back up, though, so they're going to... If he shows up, they're going to have to respect it because he does have Ragnarok. He can kill them both.
Yeah, but he has to defend his inhibitors. Sorry, his Nexus turrets.
Yeah, he's going to kill them both right now. He's just going to take them off the map. Goodbye.
They're just leaving the Nexus turrets. There's so many super minions in the mid wave. I mean, Sona's there and Big fucking Rob is dropping off, but I don't know if that kill is worth all the damage coming down onto these turrets.
I don't think so either, but we do see it's an rage over down for 50 seconds. Yeah, I don't think they have the wave clear to really push up that mid wave. They really need to push up that mid wave till it gets to about the middle of the lane and then take an immediate right 90 degrees and go get that Baron, but I don't think it's going to happen. They just lost their inhibitor on the bot side too. Yikes.
Yeah, the Winion's taking that one out.
Oof. All right, unfortunately now this is one of those times where if you're looking at it from a logical perspective, it's a simple snowball here. You're looking at, all right, what are we going to see? We're going to see them go. They're going to start getting that vision around Baron for Brambleback. They're going to start making sure they're going to push up those waves one time, make sure bottom wave is pushing at them, and then they're going to force the team fight with their Predator Maokai, and then they're going to try to get a kill, and then go for Baron and wrap it up. But that's not how it has to be. We can definitely see Rob. He's going to get his ult back. It just came back up. That thing is on such a ridiculously low cooldown. 72 seconds to pretty much be free of crowd control and murder people. And here it is. And they need to make it happen right now, right? The waves are in the good position. Colonel Paco's super low. So, like, it is definitely a 5v4 right now. I don't know if they know that, but they just need to go in right now. But they don't have that knowledge, unfortunately, unless they're stream sniping.
But the zoning from Pickle Popper with that Orianna ball is so oppressive. You can barely step up to her. Like, we've seen it a couple times before. Pickle Popper hitting an ult onto one or two people just completely destroys the team fight.
Mid lane inhibitor back up, and there's a giant wave top side. So we're looking okay from the Gromp side right now. They're at a decent position. It's going to be a little bad news in the bot lane. So they can't dairy and take their time and whatnot around here. They have to really go and make something happen, or they're going to have to deal with their bot wave. If they go too long, they're just going to go clear that vision and go do Baron, and then it's going to be the game.
I mean, it looks like Astro was pinging to go clear the bot wave, but Brambleback ends up going towards the Baron, so he has to stay. And that wave has two super minions in it and is getting super close to their base.
They let a Dulma get to the top side, so now they're going to have a top lane problem too. So big fucking Gromp's going to have big fucking problems.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give up the Baron or you lose. And you can't not give up the Baron, because then you just lose to minions.
They're about to lose, exactly. They're going to lose their... so Akali's going to go up there and do it. Which means...
But they already lost the Nexus turret. The minions just took it down.
Yeah, this is... I mean, Akali can definitely clear it. It's just going to be really tough right now, because here comes Enraged Over, like we thought. Going to go in. Here comes his ultimate, right?
Oh, Pickle Popper getting the ult down on the Sona and Shimmy. Big fucking Rob running into the back line. Ends up going down to Drophic.
Too much damage.
So much damage.
And there it is. We got 2. We're about to see 3 fall. As Clapius is doing as much damage as he possibly can. Unfortunately, that blue build Ezreal is just not enough damage to take care of all these big health tanks coming in. And the damage is too much. Drophic coming in. D1 Astro did a good job clearing the wave. Unfortunately, the next wave that's coming in are people.
Yeah, and it just got to the point where Gromp made a couple of mistakes, lost a couple of team fights, and then they just didn't have enough damage to take out the Tristana and Orianna, who completely obliterated their front line.
Unfortunate set of circumstances to end that game for Gromp, but they were looking so good throughout that game. But got to give it to him. Well done on Brambleback. Truly is the year of the pickle. Going godlike on the end there. Just well played. Very well played.
And actually, a surprising stat. Asclepius had the most damage in that game, coming up with 40,000. Just over Pickle Popper's 39,000.
Oof. Quite strong. So... at this point, you got to say, you know, good games, well played. Gromp on the verge of those victories. That first game looked a little challenging. Second game was definitely within their grasp. But Brambleback, with strong play, with a good front line, with good wave management towards the end of that game, just really pulled through. So who we want to get into here? Who we looking to get for some interviews?
I mean, it is the year of the pickle. We have to bring him in.
I don't see how we don't at this point.
And I think for the first game, I mean, Adolma on that Urgot was just really, really strong and completely controlled that game.
I have to agree. It was really, really impressive to watch that power of that champion. He hit all of those harpoons. They were just disgusting.
Yeah, he's way too good on that champion.
All right, let's see if we can get him in here.
All
Pull him on in. So other than that, thank you all. I just want to say while we get everyone in here to talk.
22 minutes,
Yeah,
and then
thank you.
again at
Whew.
27.
Thank you for watching. All right, we got him in here. We got the boys in.
Hello.
Wow. Okay. Well done. Good games. Good couple of games there.
Thank you.
Let's
Wait,
begin
I'm
with
in here?
Yeah. Let's
You're in here too, Greg.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay.
But you're
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pickle. Come on.
Year of
man.
it's the come on. That was some disgusting stuff. But let's talk about game 1 real quick. Let's talk about that beginning part of the game. Let's talk about Adulma. Let's talk about your Urgot. Give us some insight into what that was like playing that champion in a Rekt League game.
I'm happy to get in my one Urgot game for the season. So we'll see if I get it again. But I'm always down to play some Urgot.
And that's a very impressive reason why. No one's gonna say that that they want to see that Urgot again. It was just quite disgusting. But yeah.
Well, thank you.
How did so tell me, where did you learn how to program in the curved bullet of the harpoon?
It definitely took a little calibration, but I mean like once you start hitting them, you don't stop.
He just watched Wanted like 50 times in a row.
It's insane. Ted, do you have any questions for Adulma in game 1?
Yeah, so for game 1, you guys, I really just want to ask, what inspired the run at you comp?
So this is actually kind of a funny story because we had intended this as a like a specifically for our matchup against Ocean comp, because we specifically wanted a lot of point and click on Shu, just like point and click, lock him down, and just deal with him, and just be able to like pick fights when we want to pick fights, and just like always get to him. And then we got to this week, and we were talking about like other comps and stuff that might work really well against Gromp, and we were just like, or we could just do the same thing again.
It seems to be working for
so,
you
like,
guys. Yeah, there's no reason why you should stop.
We've just been sticking with it, so
It's been very good. So then I think that's a natural conclusion to go talk about the year of the pickle right now, which seems to be a conclusion that is already writing your name and down in stone.
I
Just
mean,
taking
that's a lot
over.
of pressure. I don't know.
pickles in the front, brambles in the back.
I have to
Yeah.
say, you although Asclepius, got to give him some credit. He out damaged everyone in that game. You were number 2 on
Wait,
that Oriana.
what?
It's
Oh,
you have
man.
Ezreal, man. He was poking it down.
Actually,
beat
that hurt
out.
a lot. You get by what it did, like a quarter of your health. That's fair.
Exactly.
So how'd the matchup feel against Astro?
Akali's a stupid champion. That's all I have to say. It's so dumb. Actually, when she got the first blood in that second game, the pop-up for like email popped up in the corner over on minimap as I was trying to look at bot lane, and my just went out. So I was just standing still in lane for like 15 seconds, and I still managed to kill him. So they did dive tower, but
Gotcha.
that felt kind of bad. But then it's like, okay, I was half health when I started playing. I can deal with it. I can deal with if we trade.
And
But no.
the question of the people want to know: dill pickles or sweet pickles?
Ooh. I guess that depends on the purpose of the pickle. Are you putting it on a sandwich? Are you eating it straight?
You tell me. You're
Are
popping
you
them.
just popping it? Maybe I don't
gotta
eat
be
pickles,
popping
so
'em.
maybe I just
Yeah.
like popping them.
What
don't like
pickle
it.
do you prefer to pop?
You know, like those big ones that you buy at a deli and you just eat them by yourselves? Those ones. A lot of juice. It's been sitting there for a while. Real satisfying.
Gotcha. Good to know. That's for you, Drofig. Wanted to know. So other than that, I mean, you guys definitely played well. There was a period of time where Gromp was ahead. They were ahead of you guys in towers. They were seemed to be had no answer for Big Rob, just cruising on in. So what was the mindset? What did you guys end up doing that allowed you to turn it around when it looked dire for you for a while, but you turned it around, you did something, and what was it?
I mean, that one fight, the first fight we won, really, that we let them engage on us instead of us just trying to chase them down and extending the team too far up the lane. So once they came in and us in the corner, we had a lot of, CC and stuff.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
Malkite's really good there.
Oh yeah,
A
and
little silly because like we were getting down pretty far, and then like Brian basically just told us like hey, like we gotta let them engage on us, and then like immediately after that, engage on us. We're like, oh, well, that works really well. Let's just keep doing that.
with the one exception where you had a fight near Baron, they had swept all the vision, and someone decided that they were hiding the pixel brush, and you just like you just knew it, and you just ulted them, and they just went down. Who made that call?
I just threw the ball in there to get vision, and there was 2 people sitting there, so I just ulted. I didn't even say, I just did it, and then everyone followed up.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's what I was wondering. It was just like it was like picture perfect. It seemed like you knew it, like you were a seer. You're a prophet. Pickle Prophet should be your new name. That was disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Now I was just using it to check bushes because I didn't have any forwards.
Dart's, do you have any questions for game 2?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Adolma, how did that lane feel up against the Olaf?
I had never played the matchup before, and I wasn't sure what to expect, and I didn't really know like when I was able to fight him and when I like would win the fights, and obviously the answer to that was pretty much never.
Yep.
So it was pretty rough, but I pretty much knew I just had to get to the end of the game and outscale him. So
that was quite the lane. I was watching that. I knew the pain that you're in when that lane got picked. That one's not a fun one.
Yeah, no, it looked a little similar to your last Singed match, didn't it?
Oh god, that was a lot of rust. I was doing things like leaving my smoke off. I don't want to talk about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you doing great.
Yeah, bring it back to the topic.
So other than that, is there anything that you want to say to Gromp and your next week matches?
I just want to say that Team Gromp, they played really well, and I'm excited to see how they do against a lot of the other teams in the league. I think they got a lot of potential, and they're a scary team, so other teams better watch out.
Do you have anything you want to say to your match next week against Team Air?
Nope.
Very good. Very good. They're respectful. We'll let the match speak for itself.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let the match speak for itself.
Want to wrap it up?
So.
Still there?
What?
Darthed, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, sorry. Just want to say thanks to everybody for coming out and watch the Rekt League. Please feel free to click that follow and subscribe button. If you like what we got, stick around. We'll be here same time next week, 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock for some more Rekt action.
Rekt League hype.
Good.
Good night.
Good night.